Hi. Well, hi, Mimi. Thanks for agreeing to be interviewed about your community engaged learning course.
Sure.
Can you just start out by telling us what the course is and a little bit about your students?
Okay, so the course is a UCore 3800, and it is global infectious disease challenges. And I developed this course, and I wanted because I just really like infectious diseases, and I wanted to teach this class to non-majors and sort of look at the history of infectious diseases, from the past up until the current situation, and then also sort of tying in different issues like societal issues, ethical issues, and all of that. So I thought it would make for a good like UCore 3800. And my students this quarter, they are, I think about 2/3 of them are seniors, and the rest of them are mostly juniors, and then I have a couple of sophomores as well. So I've been impressed with them. They've asked thoughtful questions, and I'm sure because this class is very relevant to what's going on right now, they are really interested, and I'm tying in current things that we're talking about in the news and the media, and tying that in with the different topics that we discuss in class.
Great. So I'm curious, why did you decide to create a service learning or community engagement project for this class?
Well, it started because I attended that workshop last year where it was just talking about, how would you create a service learning class? And it got me thinking that this class would actually be really well suited for like a community engaged or service learning class because it, again, it's so relevant to real life issues, with public health. And yeah, and I was thinking about this even way before, all this COVID-19 stuff happened. And I wanted, because I've taught microbiology before, so we've talked about infectious diseases, but it always seemed like, I always wanted to like put a human face to the diseases. And so to that end, I would like show them videos, where they interview patients and the healthcare workers. And I thought that this class, it would be nice if they could work with some community partner to sort of see how the things we talk about in this class really are so important, to, public health and just everyone really.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's really interesting that you got to partner up with someone in King County Public Health, especially right now with everything that's going on. So I'm wondering if you can just describe the project that you're doing with them.
Sure. So it's all thanks to you, Elizabeth, because you met Steve Shapiro, so he's a program manager in the childcare health program of the Seattle and King County Public Health Department. And they were looking for someone to make videos, like just short videos where they would talk about some different issues, public health issues, preventing infectious diseases, specifically for people who provide childcare. And then they actually wanted to create some videos for the children themselves. And so these are very young children under the, like 5 to under, yeah, 5 or under. And yeah, just like different issues about health in general, but then also mental health, taking care of your mental health, and then also, of course, preventing the spread of infectious diseases. So things like washing your hands, and why would you disinfect something or sanitize something, and just different ways that you can protect yourself and or your child, and yeah, yourself and your child. And And it fit in perfectly with what I was thinking, because I was thinking that for one of the assignments in this class, I would have the students create like a public service announcement, and just to inform the public about a certain infectious disease, you know, ways to prevent it, or just videos to provide information about the disease. So it was, yeah, it aligned very well, like what they were looking for, which was these videos, and then like what I was thinking as just an assignment for my students. And so, yeah, I think it worked out really well.
How did the students react when they learned that they would be doing a service learning project for this class?
I think they were really excited, you know, because I told them on the first day of class that we would be working with the Seattle and King County Public Health Department. And I could see, like, they're like, oh, because obviously, so this was when was this? I guess this was in April. So early April, and I'm sure COVID-19 was on everyone's minds. And then also like just all this information coming in from like the World Health Organization and CDC and the different local public health departments. So I think they were really excited to work on it.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and it's cool because I think it was during the first week of class, no, maybe it was the second week, when some of our collaborators from the public health department were able to attend one of my Zoom meetings. And so they got to introduce themselves to my students, and my students got to, you know, see them and talk to them. So that was cool.
That's really cool. How are the video projects coming along?
They're coming along well. So I actually set it up so they had an initial assignment where they just had to write like a script for a video, you know, so they had to form groups with classmates, and then pick a topic and then write a script for the video they would shoot. And I sent the scripts to the collaborators so they can provide feedback. And they're really great about providing feedback that's like really thoughtful and specific, but also positive. So yeah, they've been great. And so the students received the feedback, and then in a later assignment, they got to actually create this short video, like only 2-3 minutes long. And this is just their first draft video. So that was due, I think last week was when their first draft videos were due. And again, you know, I watched them and then I sent them to the collaborators so they could watch them and provide feedback. And they were great. The collaborators were able to provide feedback. I just got the feedback today, so it took only a week. And I'm going to read over everything, and then I'll give the feedback to the students so they can work on like a final edit, you know, so they can sort of incorporate the feedback and make a final video. And so that's due at the end of this quarter.
Sounds like you have a really good communication loop with the community partners, with the collaborators at King County Public Health, and that they're really
Yes.
involved.
Yes, definitely. So Steve found, I think, 5 team members to collaborate with us, and they've all been really great, like just very communicative and very responsive and just really enthusiastic about the project. So it's been really nice.
That's great. Can you imagine teaching this course in the same way in the future?
Yeah, I hopefully in person, but yes, definitely with like a community engaged project. Yeah, I don't know if we would work with the same collaborators. I mean, I would love to because I think they're great, but I don't know if they would be looking for even more videos. But I'm sure we could think of other videos. But yeah, I can definitely think of a similar project if I taught this class again, where they would make these sort of public service announcement type videos.
It sounds like it's going really smoothly and very much to plan. But I'm curious, is there anything you would do differently now that you're, 8 weeks into the quarter?
I think I would probably have some more like reflective type of assignments, where I would, I think I might do this at the very end, but I think it would be better if I sort of had just very short assignments for my students at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the quarter, where just asking them to reflect on the process of working with the collaborators and working on this project, and are they, gaining anything extra by working on this type of community engaged project.
Yeah, that reflection part is always so key, and
It
it's
is, yeah.
it's sometimes it's an afterthought.
It definitely,
But
like everything was like, oh, just
I
won't
know,
happen.
yeah,
Yeah,
but easy for you to incorporate next time around.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest challenge about this project is that I'm asking students to work in groups of 3, but
Hmm.
they might be very far apart, in space. And and I had students say, how are we going to make a video, the 3 of us, when we don't, we can't actually come together to work on it. And so, I mean, that's a really great question. And I said, like, you'll definitely have to plan it out, maybe um, divide up the video in terms of like maybe each of you can shoot part of it, or maybe I also suggest that it might be easier if they divided up the tasks, where one person writes the script, another person actually films it, another person edits the video, something like that. So they actually, I'm really impressed with their first draft videos. Like I think they did a really great job, and they're so cute and enthusiastic and kind of shy in their videos. But yeah, I mean, they're charming, I think.
I hope we get to see some of them. We
Yeah,
can have
yeah.
some samples.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the videos they're very thoughtful. They've edited them in a really nice way. So, yeah, I
Yeah, I
think.
can imagine this is something that our family engagement program could use as well.
Yeah,
So we'd love to see them when the whole project's done.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, any advice for your colleagues who are thinking about teaching a remote community engaged learning course?
Um, I don't know. It's sort of it's funny. I feel like I've been planning for this course for a long time, but then it kind of fell apart. It seemed like it was going to fall apart right at the start of but then it suddenly came together again. So I don't know if I have any advice. I guess just kind of roll with the punches and just be flexible, and um, you have to just be creative and thinking about problem solving, and thinking about definitely sort of putting yourself in the student shoes and thinking about what they're going through, and what are some things that would be doable and what things would not be doable for the students. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really appreciated, Mimi, about you was that when it seemed like the project was going to fall apart, you were just like, okay, let's come up with a plan B. You were just very calm about it and
Yeah.
created an alternate plan. But then when the community partner came back and said, we still want to work with you, you were just like ready to move right into that. And
Yeah.
you did that very gracefully.
Yeah, I was trying to be calm on the outside. But yeah, I was just so happy when I heard from Steve again, that he did want to proceed, because I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, that would be great. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's been great, and all of his team members have just been so great. So I think definitely the choice of collaborator is a big thing. The problem is if you haven't worked with them before, like how would you even know if they're going to be responsive and responsible? But yeah, I've definitely been super lucky with the collaborators, with the partner. So,
Yeah, it's definitely a risk, but it seems to have paid off. And I From what I'm hearing, it sounds like they'll be pretty pleased with your students as well. Thank you so much for talking about your class and for the work that you're doing to partner with the community this quarter. Really appreciate your work.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Elizabeth. You've been a huge help with my course and yeah, just finding the community partner. It's been a really great experience. I've really enjoyed this. And I definitely want to do this again in the future. And I'm actually starting to think about like, how could I incorporate community engagement aspects to my other classes, which I think it might be more challenging for like a cell biology class or something. But yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Well, hopefully someday soon we can sit down over an actual cup of coffee for real and talk about that.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, it would be nice to like see people in person again.